Hey guys, what's up? And in today's video I have some Paladins gameplay and this is competitive. And I decided to make a little series, I guess, about getting Inara to Masters because I really do enjoy playing her and she is my favorite tank and the only tank I know how to play. But I do primarily play healers, but this game I just decided to play Inara just because I felt like playing as her to begin with. Alright, so I just want to just walk what I do basically step by step. So you are, as an aura and any tank, supposed to get on the point. And at some points in this game, I did feel like my team was absent, and I don't mean to be rude when I say that, but it's just like, I felt like at crucial times I wasn't really being supported. I don't know, but that's just my personal opinion, and I guess you guys will see through the gameplay. Now, we did have a Pip that was running Mega Potions, so I didn't mind that we have Pip on solo healing. And luckily, I just make it to cap the point right here, so I was pretty fortunate about that because I just died right after, but we got that first point, so that was secured. I do play on PS4, so I'm not sure if the Inara buffs did go live yet, but she seems pretty good. Personally, I thought she was always pretty good, but I think that just giving her more buffs is just a good thing for her, honestly. I felt like she wasn't really the best choice compared to the other tanks in the game, but the buffs will definitely now make her more enjoyable to some people. And I think that it's just a good thing all around because now she actually has a chance to shine in the meta and be used by more people. That wall was pretty questionable, I have to say. I don't know why I used it. I was trying to actually put it in front of the ruckus just so I wouldn't get hit by anything, but it ended up working out anyway, so I mean, I guess it was just a good thing. A lot of the times I just put my wall up, especially when I saw that Ying, because the Ying, instead of leaving her clone sets to heal, she basically was just making them shatter a lot, so I just tried to avoid getting shattered as much as possible. Ying and Shaolin were basically just the main people on the cart contesting. I feel like one thing with Inara is that I need to work on would just be my ultimates and my walls. I feel like my walls are pretty questionable at times. Right there, I feel like that was just a bad ultimate in general. I was trying to hit the ground, and I guess I just wasn't fast enough, and it ended up flying and hitting the Ying. I did skip ahead. We did, unfortunately, not push the payload in, so capturing the point for the second actual point in the game. One thing I have to say was that the other team wasn't really contesting that much. If anything, it was the Ruckus who was making an attempt, but I felt like his team was just scattered all the time. The Shaolin was pretty decent too. He was trying, but I just felt like his team, especially the Maeve, I felt like their Maeve was pretty absent and she was just in the back line, but not really getting anything done efficiently. I don't know, that's just my take on it personally. A good majority of the time I'm just using the payload as cover too because my Pip, he was okay, but I wasn't really getting healed that often. If you find yourself in that situation as an aura, I recommend the card where you get healing from using the little stone that you take up from the ground. I think it's called Stone Guard. I'm not really sure what the name of all her abilities are. I get kind of cloudy sometimes. I just can't really remember. So far, so good. We're pushing the payload in. Right here, I did end up dying because I did not realize I wasn't paying attention to the actual kill feed, and a good majority of my team was down, and at that point I was feeding. So right here, the reason why I included this ult was because it was just such a huge letdown. I was going for a big shatter basically to just knock them all and just make them all stunned, but it ended up it actually ended up hitting the clone, and it was just really unfortunate. I just feel like I have to get better at actually timing it and making it that I get a lot of value of that ult because it is pretty powerful if you have a follow-up. Our Bomb King was pretty good too, so was our Drogos. I didn't really see them in the game, but I saw that they were getting kills and doing their job, which was good. What I noticed with the Nara is that I feel like a lot of your abilities have to be up constantly, and I feel like her abilities are just what makes her good because when she doesn't have an ability, I just feel like that's when she's at her weakest because it's basically how she survives. She needs her abilities. So right here, we're just fighting for the third point now because unfortunately we did fail to actually push it in again. Right here, the Shaolin, I just think was just out of position because his team backed up and no one was really helping him on the point. So at that point, he was just feeding. Like I said before, I really don't get contested that often on the objective. I don't know why. It's just, I guess maybe they weren't really paying attention. And I notice sometimes in this game, people just play it like a team deathmatch, but it's definitely not the case because you have to cap a point to win. Fortunately for me, I got healing from Pip, so that's why I was able to survive this whole engagement for as long as I did. Then when I come back, it was pretty much just neck and neck, and I was trying to stall out for as long as I could, and it ended up working because now we have 3 points on the table. What I noticed was all the fights seemed to be taking place behind and in that little alley. I would call that alley the flank alley, for example. The one where it's just mainly wooden and it's kind of like off to the side on the left. I thought that was a weird position for the ruckus because he just kind of darted out, but he didn't really contest. He was just kind of there. I don't know why. I feel like sometimes when you use an ability, it kind of just cancels out itself. Because I don't think I would want to cancel out my wall. Right there, that was a pretty cool double kill. Right here, what I thought was strange was the Maeve ulted, and I just feel like she was getting no value out of it. Because our Pip ended up killing the Androxus, and I did get a double kill on the Ruckus and Shaolin, so I just felt like it was kind of a waste. Right here, the wall was kind of questionable because I wasn't really using it. I was using it as like a half guard, I would say. I would just peek Shaolin to see if I would get any damage off on him. Whenever there was a team fight like this, where we would all be kind of grouped up a little bit, I feel like the one problem on their side was they weren't really focusing targets. Like as you just saw, the Androxus, keep in mind I was low health, was just flying to somebody else, and he didn't really focus me. This was a pretty intense fight, honestly, just because I felt like now this is where they were more involved than they ever were in an actual point. So I do end up going down right there, but they didn't really get on the point. So it was just better for me in general because now we get some extra points on the capture. Maeve ulted, she didn't really get that much value out of it. I don't know why the Androxus didn't focus me. I felt like I would have been such an easy kill because especially I was right there and I didn't have any abilities ready. I would have just been a free kill. But I did end up going down, and this is when they started to get more onto the objective and more points. So I got back on, I popped some of my abilities, I ended up getting 2 kills, it was pretty cool, and this is basically just what won us the game. So like at the end, if you just want to win, you have to get aggressive. That's just my recommendation. It's just the best way to get things done. So besides that, that's pretty much all I have for today's video, and I hope you guys did enjoy this road to Masters with Inara, and I did end up getting play of the game, and it was for the final capture point. It was pretty cool. I usually don't get play of the game because I'm playing supports, but it was good for a change and just nice to see. So I'll see you guys in the next Road to Masters episode. See you guys.